All right, so I'm gonna do a um, review of all of NQ, ES, and gold. We could start with gold. I haven't looked at gold at 8 a.m. yet, but past few days I've been trading 8 a.m. gold. However, let's just look at today. So we scale out. What's our overall market structure? Looking pretty bearish, right? Um, Still looking bearish. We're just saying we saw a fat drop. Now we're looking for a pullback and looking for something to signify the end of that pullback. So we do have this area of supply here. Price created, tapped into on the in London session and Asian a little bit, but really this is it. Make it a little bit more refined right here. So this is really a high probability area we want to see price get to. Let's mark out highs and lows. We got Asian low and London high up here. What's our range? Honestly, just scale down and see. Our range really is just the high and low before price created. So we know price has been really choppy recently since the start of the year. Really just been choppy movement. So we saw a straight flush down. Trading this would have been nice. You could have got a trade off of seeing price tap back into this area right here. Scale down even more. Even on the 1 minute, let's see what price does here. Just a fat drop down. You could have just entered there and just TP'd on here. Would have had a really nice trade. See price pull back, but yeah, nonetheless, today go on to 5 minutes. So this is mainly our area or our zone we're looking where we were trading in. So we see price pull back, pull down. What do we see over here? A break of structure. So we already see a break of structure. So we already know the price is probably gonna head down. And now we're just looking for it. Now we're just waiting for the internal pullback to be over, and now we can expect the swing continuation of the trend to continue. So once we see price open up, let's close this. See price pull up, tap this negative 70 or the 75% area, then start pulling down. So honestly, I'm not looking for a buy here, just looking for a pullback to continue. Looking for sells because that's mainly our structure. So we see price tap into this area and strong push down. Could have entered right here. The decent amount of confirmation. Those candlestick closures or the 5 minute closure. TP could have been here. TP1 could have been here. TP2 could have been here. And honestly, since we're probably trending, TP3 could have been here. And it's not like a minor pullback, you know. Like this is a really good trade. Again, it would have been, we would have sized down a lot. So this would have been our main trade. Then our second trade, the negative 61.8, and the two Asian highs, lows is our next trade. So that's basically that for gold. There's not much to it, honestly. So let's go to NQ because NQ today was pretty confusing. It's really been confusing as of late. Been moving really weird, but yesterday NQ. Let's see. Again, with gold, I trade the 8 a.m. the pre-market because you see this trade setup open, and then what at 9:30? What do you see? I mean, you could have entered off of this trade, this liquidity sweep, but it's kind of just a continuation. It's not really a liquidity sweep, or not really a strong liquidity sweep. You know, it's on the 1 minute when price is continuing up, but it does create price does create stacked trending liquidity, so this is valid, but we do want to have an entry like up here, but this is a valid entry too. But yeah, that's why I trade pre-market for gold because I feel like that's the best thing. But NQ, I don't trade pre-market NQ. I do trade 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. So Um, just change that real quick so you can just see it 9:30. So 9:30, I was bullish. Oh well, I am bullish or was bullish for NQ. Um, looking for buys. So what do we see NQ do? First of all, let's scale out. What do we see? First of all, we have what are our high probability areas and what is our range? So on the 4 hour, we are bullish. We do see price pull up, break structure here. So we are looking for buys. 1 hour, don't really have any liquidity near us, honestly, to seek unless we scale down. But we do see price pull up, pull down, break structure again. So we're looking for buys, strong buys. You might look for a quick pullback and then a continuation up, but so we're strong on the buys though, strong on the buys. So we do see, um, hindsight. We do have this strong area where price does reject a lot. Other than that, our next strong area would be like right down here, or really this whole area down here. That would have been our next strong area because this is really the last area before price like strongly pushed up. So this would have been a high probability area. But the reason I had this marked out and not down here is because so NQ and ES, I don't like. I look at structure between the two because sometimes NQ will make a shorter pullback because ES has made the correct pullback. So on ES, what do we see? Um, Let me delete this up. Hold on. Let me make me lag. So for ES, what do we see? Well, if we scale out, let me delete this up too. Okay, so for ES, we scale out again, same structure as NQ essentially. We're just bullish. So we do see price pull up. At the start of New York, we haven't really seen a break of this high yet, right? So we have seen it, but it was really low-key just a sweep of liquidity, and the price continued down. Price is really playing around this area a lot, right? Yeah. So we could delete this line, but what do we see price do market open? On ES, we see price sweep liquidity and then push down. We just see a sweep of liquidity up here. We see inducement and creation of liquidity, sweep, and then a push down. So what are our high probability areas? One was right here. This was our highest probability area, but if price didn't create the sweep off of it, then this would have been a high probability area to enter off of for buys because price did really have a decent pullback for ES already, right? So this was really a good area to enter off of because price did like tap back into this area and push up. But we do see price continue pushing down. And after like this strong sweep, we don't really want to look for buys unless we see a closure above this candle, this area. Then you can enter for a buy off of a pullback because price isn't gonna just shoot above an area and well, it really will. It really does do that. It does just shoot above areas, but yeah, you'll see a quick pullback, but for the most part, it will just shoot above an area. But for today, price to swap liquidity came down to where's our nearest area of strong like confluence to look for buys. This was really our only area we had. This isn't really a strong area because it really has nothing to it. But this area right here where price, this demand zone where price, the last point price had before rallying up crazy. So this was really the only area that price had like backing from, So after that sweep of liquidity, what could we expect? Considering we're only looking for buy opportunities, this would have been the only decent buy to get into, and it looked good on NQ too. But after seeing that it didn't work out, really just looking for a pullback into here. And then once you see a pullback, we saw a pullback on ES, then we could have looked for a buy on NQ because it kind of just solidifies it. So once we see a pullback right there, boom. And how do we know that this is a strong area or a valid area? Look at the reaction we got on it. This strong push up that overtakes all of these candlesticks. If price didn't do this and did like some sort of weak candlestick, just continuing to drop, I wouldn't have been looking at this area. I probably would have just changed my bias to sells and have been targeting Asian lows and waited for a pullback after breaking structure. But no, price pulled all the way strongly up. So what are our areas to look for? I don't really trade ES, but we also see a Fibonacci, a negative or 75% tap as well, another confluence. So you could have entered to negative 61.8, which also kind of lines up with this Asian session high as well, like all the way up here. This really would have been the only TP to have. Oh, and a match at this high as well, but that really would have been the only TP to have. But this all comes hindsight. But just knowing that price, having a bias and only looking for that bias if price gives us the opportunity. So I'm only looking for buys because price is in a bullish structure. Price is strong bullish structure. So why would I look for anything else but buys? For NQ, price didn't pull back that strongly, but we did see price. Yeah, price didn't pull down that strongly, but we do see price. From here to I would keep it here. And keep it just there. And then we see price pull back into the 50% zone. For ES, we saw a deeper pullback into the 75% zone. Nothing really at the 50% zone for us to look for entries at. So we could expect a deeper pullback. Same for NQ. Price just pulls back pretty strongly. One second. But yeah, price just pulls back pretty strongly. Not really expected. This doesn't look like a liquidity sweep at all because this liquidity is down here and it just closed strongly above. Then it slams down. It's like doesn't look clean at all. But we are looking for price to pull up. So once we see price tap into this area of strong confirmation, kind of this 50%, this area where price broke a high before, and if you scale out, what do we see? Where was it? I'm pretty sure it was here. Yeah, this area of supply as well, where the last point price pushed strongly down and price pushed strongly above it. We could have also seen price do the same thing with ES and come all the way down back here to this area right here. This would have been a high probability setup as well, but we obviously don't see price to do that. And how do we know we're probably not going to see price do that? Off of this area where we have strong confluence as well, what do we see price do? We see price wick strongly and push strongly up. So this already is telling us, if price price does this and then pushes strongly down, then our trade is invalidated. But this is a strong confluence for buys. So enter here. Where's TP's negative 61.8 and also this high that I had marked earlier from just this weak high. Well, not a weak high, but just this area where we could expect price to get to before making any major movement. This is the same area that price has been at multiple times before. So this is a good area to have our TP at. For ES, we don't really have that except here. So negative 61.8 or also this Asian high is really a good target to reach for. But yeah, so in NQ probably would have been a pretty iffy setup today. It's pretty hard to get a setup on it. It looks pretty iffy. Um, yeah, so I mean, after seeing this and seeing the time match up with ES, um, it it's like it matches up. It matches up enough to be able to be confident in buys. So just looking between the two and just knowing that hey, yes, it dropped significantly, and Q hasn't, but it got to this area of you know, resistance. And if NQ goes all the way down here, where would ES probably get down to? It will probably continue breaking structure. If the price gets all the way down here, then this is invalidated for me because this just isn't strong enough to warrant ES to break structure and for NQ to continue structure. So I wouldn't even look for buys at that point. I'd be looking for sells if price gets all the way down here. Even if it wicks, it's just a pullback at that point. And ES would have been like down here. Like if price would have got like any if ES would have stopped anywhere like down here, like if it would have stopped down here and not have closed just wick down here and Q wick down here, that would have even been stronger confirmation. But the fact that ES did it and NQ didn't really need to, that's strong confirmation as well. It's just seeing ES has done this, and then you go to NQ at the same time. What was this? 9:45. Yeah, you see the time matchup already having confirmation. We already saw price strong push up, then we see price pull back a little bit, then another strong push up. Yeah, yeah. On both as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seeing a strong push up on both. I'm pretty sure there was news at the time as well. 9:45 p.m. I think. I was pretty sure there was news. Yeah, a little bit of news, nothing crazy, but enough to support it. So yeah, price pulled up off of that. It's basically all we got. And for gold, again, we had the shorts off of pre-market gold at 8 a.m. Low trading gold at this time because it's really when price moves. Like you'll see way more opportunities at 8 a.m. than 9:30 usually. You'll see better opportunities at least, like with here, and then let's continue looking here. You see a super look, oh, a decent sweep of liquidity. Doesn't sweep all the way up here, but it gets far enough. Here you really don't see anything. Precious rallies up. Like there's no entry you could have gotten here, honestly. Yeah, there's gonna be days when it's like that. You're not gonna see an opportunity every single day because you don't need a trade every single day. Let's probably see a Fibonacci here. Yeah, you don't need to trade every single day, but you know, you'll see opportunities. But that was basically it for today for NQ, ES, and gold. Yeah, gonna keep doing this. Gonna probably live trade, like record as I'm like trading in the mornings and stuff to like get more I don't know, just to I don't know, it's just an idea, but we'll see. But yeah. So yeah.